The Nikon D750 was the very first camera I field tested for imaging resource back in 2014. Nearly 6 years later, its successor, the D780, has finally arrived. A lot has changed in the photo industry since 2014. Mirrorless has achieved an increasingly larger market share. Nikon itself has joined the mirrorless fray with its Z system. Nonetheless, Nikon has continued to push forward with new DSLR cameras and f-mount lenses. After all, there is a lot to like about the DSLR shooting experience. Without further ado, let's dive in and see what's good and not so good about the Nikon D780. The Nikon D780 is a full-frame DSLR camera with a 24.5 megapixel backside-illuminated CMOS image sensor. It offers a native ISO range of 100 to 51,200, although the ISO can be expanded all the way up to ISO 204,800. Powered by an EXPEED 6 image processor, the D780 can shoot at up to 7 frames per second using its mechanical shutter. These speeds can be achieved with full autofocus via the camera's 51-point AF system. In live view and when recording video, the D780 uses a 273-point hybrid AF system, which includes eye detect. Speaking of video, the D780 records 4K UHD video at up to 30p. The redesigned and weather-sealed camera body includes a 3.2-inch tilting touchscreen. The D780 also includes built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity. The D780's body-only price is $2,300, although it can be found for $2,000 at the time of recording. You can also purchase the camera in a kit with Nikon's 24 to 120mm f4G VR lens. While I enjoy using Nikon Z6 and Z7 full-frame mirrorless cameras, there's something to be said for the larger grip on Nikon's DSLRs. The D780 is larger and heavier overall than its mirrorless counterparts, but at just under 30 ounces, or 840 grams, it's not overly heavy. Further, the deep, redesigned grip makes the D780 comfortable to hold, even for extended periods of time. With respect to control layout, the D780 is good. It has dedicated ISO, exposure compensation, and movie record buttons located within easy reach of the shutter release. Having these important controls within quick reach of your hand while shooting is very useful. An aspect of the camera I don't like is that both the shooting mode and drive mode dials require you to hold down a button to rotate them. This can really slow you down while shooting. The tilting screen is something of a mixed bag. It is sharp and the touchscreen functionality works well, but the display is difficult to see in bright light. Photographers could argue for days about the pros and cons of optical versus electronic viewfinders. Rather than do that here, I'll just say that the D780's optical viewfinder works well. Overall, the D780 is an intelligently designed camera. It feels good in the hands, buttons are in convenient, easy-to-reach locations, and the body is rugged and ready to handle nearly any weather. The D780's 24.5 megapixel image sensor produces very good images. The resolution of the D780's files can't match what you get with the higher megapixel D850, but for many users, the D780 packs plenty of punch. At higher ISO settings, the D780 continues to perform very well. The sensor captures images with good detail and not a lot of noise. The grain that is visible is often consistent in color and size, so it's not that distracting. Even up to ISO 12,800, the D780 produces very good quality files. The D780 captures images with excellent color as well. I am particularly impressed by Nikon's treatment of greens, which bodes well for me as a landscape and nature photographer. Overall, the D780's image quality ranges from very good all the way up to excellent. The Nikon D780's autofocus performance is good overall. The camera uses 51 AF points when shooting through the viewfinder. Further, of these 51 AF points, 15 are cross-type, which helps a lot with focus speed and accuracy in challenging situations, especially if you're using a slower lens. When using the viewfinder, the autofocus is quick and accurate. However, a negative issue is that the AF area does not cover a large portion of the image area. This is particularly problematic when trying to track a moving subject through the frame or when focusing on a subject near the edge of the frame. When using live view, the D780 has 273 phase detect AF points. While I found the autofocus performance through the viewfinder to be faster and more accurate, live view AF is quite good. AF when using live view has a particularly big advantage over viewfinder AF, much better frame coverage. Subject tracking and continuous autofocus performance in general are pretty good. Through the viewfinder, if you can keep the subject within the AF area, which is not always easy, the camera does a great job at maintaining focus. When using live view, the continuous AF performance is not as quick nor as reliable, especially in low light, but the subject tracking is decent. There is also eye detection when using live view, which is a nice inclusion. Powered by its EXPEED 6 image processor, the D780 can capture images quickly. It captures full-res RAW images at 7 FPS when using the mechanical shutter. You can record images even quicker when using the electronic shutter in silent photography mode or when using live view. In these cases, when recording a 12-bit image, the D780 can shoot at 12 FPS. If you are recording 14-bit RAW images, the speed decreases slightly to 8 FPS. Battery life is a strong point for DSLR cameras. While an electronic viewfinder in a mirrorless camera has numerous advantages over an optical viewfinder in a DSLR, energy efficiency is not among them. The D780 has fantastic battery life. It's rated for 2,260 images, and my personal experience certainly lines up with this rating. You can easily shoot all day with a single battery in most cases. The D780 is one of Nikon's best DSLR cameras for shooting video. It records good-looking 4K UHD video at 24, 25, and 30p frame rates. Further, the 273-point hybrid autofocus system does a good job in most cases, particularly in bright light. In lower light, the autofocus performance drops off a bit. However, video quality remains good at higher ISO settings. The D780 offers other nice video features, including slow motion video at Full HD resolution. Additionally, it includes N-Log and HDR recording formats and an option for recording with timecode. There aren't many weak points with the D780's video performance. However, some users may find the 20-minute cap for high-quality video clips to be problematic. Further, the autofocus performance and image stabilization, while good, are not quite up to the level of the Z6 camera in my experience. The Nikon D780 may not be the most exciting camera of 2020. However, it is yet another great DSLR from Nikon. It offers many nice features and captures high-quality images and video. The camera delivers strong performance across the board. If a new DSLR camera is what you want, then the Nikon D780 is a great option.